On Monday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that I believe should alarm every single American because it flies in the face of the First Amendment and our constitutionally protected liberties as American citizens. He signed an executive order that would criminalize burning the American flag. I want you to take a look at what he had to say. This footage is from Fox News when he signed the executive order on Monday. And then I want to continue talking about it because, as any of you know, I am not someone who has Trump derangement syndrome. But this is not anti-Trump. I would say this regardless of who is president. This is clear executive overreach.
Lastly, sir, this is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You could do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. You can, but when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. No early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is.
Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on. And by people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left to do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They say, I don't know, they gave me money to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation. That's not working because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world by far. You saw that with the European leaders on Friday. You saw that with NATO, where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5% fully paid up, trillions of dollars paid, where they respect your president to a level that they jokingly call me the president of Europe. They call me the president of Europe, which is an honor. I like Europe, and I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were represented. European and other countries were represented. And it was a great meeting. But your country is respected again. I say it all the time. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Everybody said it. We had a dead country. We were not going to survive. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So it's an honor to be involved. And this group has a lot to do with it, right behind me. Does anybody behind me have any?
This is Constitution 101, my friends. The First Amendment is clear. Congress, the body responsible for making our laws, the one made up of a Senate and House of Representatives, shall pass no law interfering with freedom of religion, press, speech, redress of government, or to peaceably assemble. So the legislative body cannot interfere with these 5 things. And yet, the President of the United States, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the United States, whose job is to enforce already existing law, and of which the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, has signed an executive order that would trample all over freedom of speech and the First Amendment. This should concern every single American. This is not a right versus left issue. This is freedom versus tyranny. Now, I have read the executive order, and I believe the way that they are getting around this, because the Supreme Court has already upheld that burning the American flag is protected speech under the Constitution. The way they're getting around this, I believe, is because they're able to say that burning the American flag would incite a riot. Really? Everyone should be concerned about this shaky language. I don't like burning the American flag, for the record. I find it disrespectful. I find it in very poor taste. It is a national symbol of a land that is supposed to guarantee the rights of all people to live free. But I am here to tell you, my friends, that's just it. It's a symbol. And I would rather every single American flag be burnt to a crisp and the Constitution remain intact and upheld than to have tyranny and executive overreach wrapped in an American flag and called patriotism. This should be struck down by the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court made it clear in 1984 with Texas versus Johnson that freedom of speech includes burning an American flag. And in fact, Congress passed a law in 1989 that would include that freedom of speech does not include burning the American flag. And the Supreme Court struck that down in 1990 and said, yes, it does. So we have judicial prudence here that proves for the record that burning the flag is included in freedom of speech. And everyone, I don't care where you line up, as I said, should be concerned about this. I don't like burning the flag. I think it's in poor taste. But it is important that we stand up for the rights of those that we disagree with most. There are already laws in place that would prosecute people who riot, that would prosecute people who do not respect the law of the land, that would prosecute criminals and foreign nationals. Those are the things we should be focused on right now, not trampling on the Constitution in the name of so-called patriotism. If you agree with me, do me a favor, share this video. I want every single American to see this, because this should be concerning to all of us. Share it, like this video so that it helps out the algorithm so that more people see it, and subscribe to my channel for more freedom-loving content.